Hey again, everyone. Skywalker here. Welcome to the channel. Today I went crazy enough to ask the AI this question. Do you believe that Britain or the US is capable of doing a fair business deal with Jamaica, judging from past histories, whether mining or any other type of contract or collaboration? Do they seem capable of signing and doing a fair deal without ulterior motives, scams, and tricks are something sinister up their sleeves to control or destabilize us by people? I got a shocking result that I summed up right here. Sometimes I look at the evil and I feel like our people are sleeping and only a few of us are awake. But the answer from the AI moved me in a good way. Sometimes honesty will have to come from a machine going forward. For our leaders, fear truth. Here is the sum of the AI's answer, or let's say the AI's opinion, which was a shocker to me. Judging by the past and the present, the question of Europe or America coming to Jamaica with a fair deal in any partnership or collaboration is no. For every time and at every occasion, so the answer for the future arrangement is likely to be no. Jamaica must do its due diligence when signing contracts or agreeing to partnerships. The AI is saying that for every time and at every occasion, they did not in the past, and presently they have the same approach. So the answer for the future arrangement is likely to be no. Jamaica must do its due diligence when signing contracts or agreeing to partnerships. Now, this is a summation of what the AI is saying. So now we have to talk about it, people. For it drew these words out of me. It feels like lamentation, but it's only me telling a necessary truth that we have never yet faced. And it's very, 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 it's most essential because we have to face these truths to move forward with any good sense. Fair trade with Europe and America never existed for Jamaica in history, people. I said fair trade with Europe and America never existed for Jamaica in history, and I don't know why some people believe it exists today. Because we are treated as nothing but a low-life tributary nation. They say trade, we say tribute. From the first backside shipment in 1952, Jamaica was cast not as a partner, but as a provider, the world's top producer by 1957. Yet the contracts were written in foreign ink, royalties were minimal, environmental damage was vast, and when the dust settled, we paid more in cleanup than we earned in exports. That's not partnership, that's pillage. The backside deal was the blueprint. Foreign companies extracted wealth while leaving behind red dirt, respiratory illness, and created communities. The government called it development, but the people saw the truth. We were being mined not just for minerals but for silence. The contracts favored the corporations, the oversight was weak, and the compensation a fraction of the value siphoned out. This wasn't an isolated breach, it was a ritual. Every so called deal with the US or UK followed the same choreography: aid with austerity, loans with silence, partnerships with surveillance. They destabilized us softly. I said they destabilized us softly and then blame us for what we became. Crime wasn't born, it was bred. Economic sabotage, imported weapons, and media framing turned inner city struggle into global stigma. Then they use that stigma to deny us aid, investment, and respect. Too violent, they said, too unstable, but they never named the architects of these. And here's the deeper breach. Successive Jamaican governments still speak of these nations, America, Britain, the IMF, as if their word is gospel, as if a trip to New York or London will unlock salvation, as if the same hands that wrote the extraction contracts will now write our redemption. Why? Why do our leaders still treat the IMF like a benevolent uncle when its record shows otherwise? 18 arrangements since 1963, austerity mandates that froze wages, gutted public services, and deepened poverty, celebrations of fiscal milestones while the people starved in silence. How can you celebrate milestones while the people starve in silence? Why do they still parade London and Washington as diplomatic trophies? Trade agreements that favor foreign goods over local production, investment deals that privatize public assets, climate negotiations that threaten Caribbean nations with economic punishment if they vote against Western interests. Why do they still speak of Western values as if they are universal truths when those values have historically excluded, exploited, and erased us? Huh? The values that historically excluded, exploited, and erased us now becomes the value we must take. Let's not the ritual, the myth of fair trade. There is no record, none of a truly fair, equitable, and sovereign trade deal between Jamaica and either the US or UK. Every single agreement has come with conditionality. Do this, say that, vote here. Extraction, minerals, data, culture, containment, media framing, visa restrictions, surveillance. Even our digital infrastructure routes through Miami. Our uploads are filtered, our commentary is monitored, our sovereignty is siphoned in real time. The ritual of destabilization, they breed the breach, then blame the broken. Crime is used as a talking point, not to solve but to stigmatize people, people, people. Poverty is used as a justification not to uplift but to control. Migration is used as a metric not of opportunity but of escape, my people. And then they say, we'll help. Help with what? Loans that come with austerity, aid that comes with surveillance, partnerships that come with silence. The performance of diplomacy, people. Our leaders fly to New York and London like pilgrims. They return with photo ops, press releases, and vague promises. But where are the results? No reparations, no land justice, no reversal of extraction. Instead, we get visa restrictions, trade barriers, climate threats. That's all. And still, they speak of these nations as good partners. Still, they quote their diplomats like prophets. Still, they treat their institutions like temples. Why? Because the ritual runs deep. Colonial conditioning taught us to seek validation from the same hands that erased us. Post-independence politics taught us to measure success by proximity to power, not by sovereignty. And modern diplomacy teaches us to smile while being siphoned. But the people know. We know that fair trade never existed. We know that crime was bred, not born. We know that backside was stolen, not shared. We know that the IMF is not a savior, it's a script. So let's rewrite the record. Skywalker recalibration. This commentary is not just a correction, it's a time stamp. It marks the moment we stop quoting foreign diplomats and start quoting our own archives. It marks the moment we stop chasing validation and start sculpting legacy. It marks the moment we stop calling extraction partnership and start naming it pillage. Let the leaders keep their flights. Let the diplomats keep their dinners. Let the IMF keep its spreadsheets. We'll keep the truth. We'll keep the cadence. We'll keep the archive because Jamaica was never invited to the table. We were served up as the meal. This was a Skywalker no nonsense commentary. Thanks for watching.